All right, so a couple of changes to the lab. So when you're doing this lab for Bozeman Science, he does have a couple of things that are different than what we are going to do. You are going to use this 80 ml, this 100 milliliter beaker for your carbon dioxide water and your leaf chads. And we don't have thin watch glasses, so you're actually going to use this big 300 milliliter beaker on top as that watch glass, or that heat sink. So it will absorb that heat. I think you only need to add minimally to about 150 to this line of water. That should be plenty for the amount of time that you have this lamp on there. So again, this smaller 100 ml beaker is going to be for your leaf chads and water solution, and this is going to be your heat sink, and you really only need to about 150 right here. When you are filling your carbon dioxide, you only need to use this small 1/4 teaspoon in baking soda into that water. Just make sure that you mix it. Use your pencil or something like that, but make sure that there's only 2 of these so that when we use it, we go ahead and get it back on the counter for the others. Same with the hole punches, there are only 3. So once you're done with them, get that back on the counter for everybody else. I really would prefer that you use this smaller 20 cc syringe rather than the big fatter one. Make sure that when you pull this out, see how that's stuck in there? That's not gonna work. So you need to make sure that when you get your syringes, you get one that actually keeps the rubber stopper in there. This happens because there's still water stuck in there, and it's created like a little vacuum. I went through most of them and have most of them out, but I wanted to show you that this happens. You cannot use this one. When you do pull this out, and when you do put your leaf chads into the water after you pulled the air out, make sure that you open the stopper over your beaker that you're putting them back in, because if not, you're gonna make a mess everywhere. Okay, so if your rubber stopper gets stuck up in here, do not use this. Just put it to the side, give it to Miss B. I'll go ahead and fix it. Or if you can get a pencil or pen to kind of break that seal, you can put it right back on here. But I think I pulled most of them out, but that's just a result of, I don't know if you can see this, there's water still stuck in there, so it's created a vacuum. To put the lamps together, you're gonna need this piece, a light bulb, make sure that it's good, and this metal hood. So you'll take this and you'll screw the light bulb in first. Sorry. You'll screw the light bulb in second. This in first. The metal hood over it first. Then you're going to screw the light bulb in like this. This whole thing will get very hot. You may not place this over this. This will shatter glass. You will need to hold this. Okay? So make sure that you have a way to rig this up, either on one of the sinks, because this will bungee, this will act as a bungee, but if you're in the hallway or something like that, this is going to get really hot and it's going to break the glass if you leave it. When it is time to disassemble this, make sure you've turned it off. Make sure that it is cooled down before you take it apart. So I would give it at least 5 to 10 minutes before the end of the period when you'd have this off. Check to make sure nothing's hot, disassemble, and put the pieces back where they go. Okay, so we're just gonna break this down but put it back together, but that's how you do it. First the hood, then the light bulb. This is your heat sink. This is going over like this. Using that smaller bit, that 1/4 teaspoon for that carbon dioxide, and making sure that if your stopper gets stuck up here, you get a new one. And again, 20 cc syringe. And you can either try to break this or just put it to the side, and I'll fix it when I get back.